In this lecture, we're going to look at classes in C++, a great construct to help you model your own types that you can use in your C++ programs. We're going to look at this from a practical perspective. We want to use a few classes in C++ to model a 3D object like this. It's called a parallelepiped. I don't know how you pronounce that. But the shape we are targeting in our modeling is this one. And this is what classes are about in C++ and really in any programming language. Classes allow us to model our own C++ types or our own objects that we can work with in our programs. So now that you have an idea of what we are targeting, let's head to Qt Creator and start building this thing. Okay, here we are in Qt Creator. We're going to start a new project like we did in other project so far. Plain C++ project. We're going to call it 110 classes 1. We're going to save it in the usual location. Hit next until you have your project generated like this. The first thing we're going to try and model is this rectangle here on the base of our 3D shape. The rectangle ABCD. We're going to model it and then we're going to build on top of that to have the full shape. So we come to Qt Creator, and how do we model the rectangle? We use a class and we define a class like this. Our class is going to be called rectangle, and when you define your class you have to put a semicolon at the end of it. Our class is going to have two private members. One is going to be an integer for width, and another is going to be an integer for length. Okay, all this might be not making sense for you now. And what we just did, we defined members of our class, and it has two members as of now. One is the width of the rectangle that we are modeling, and the other is the length. What about this private keyword? This keyword is meaning that these things we have in here, the width and the length, are private to this class and you cannot access them from the outside. You have to go through an object of this class to be able to access these things. And we're going to test this in a minute. You're going to see this. The other thing we need to do is to provide the methods that are going to help us modify the width and the length. And these methods are going to be void because they're not going to be returning anything. Set width. And we're going to provide another method that is going to say void set length. What we're going to do in here is to say this width equals width. And we are taking the width that we pass in the parameter here and assigning it to the width that is the member variable of this class. This keyword here means this object that we are working on, the object of this class. So we're going to do the same thing for setting the length equals length. And now we have this method. The other method we want to provide is the get area method to get the area of the base rectangle. And it's not going to take any parameter because we're going to use the variables in the class already. And we're going to return width multiplied by length because that's the area of the rectangle. And by now we have modeled our rectangle. We can start using it in the main function. Okay, so how do we use it? We get rid of this thing and define our rectangle like this, rectangle R, and say R set width. We're going to set it to 10, and we go down, we do R set length, we set it to 20. So what we want to do, we want to compute the area of this rectangle and display it in the output of the program that we are building here. So the way we do that, you already know how to output things. So the area of the rectangle is our get area. See how easy it is? So using our math, we know that the area is going to be 10 times 20, which is going to be 200, right? So run the application. It should give us 200 as the area. And here we are, 200 as the area. And our program is working here. So what we are doing, we are instantiating our own type that we just defined here. And we call method on the object of our class like this. So you pass in the variable name and you hit dot, and then you call public methods that you have defined. And by now, the public private things should start making sense here. We are able to call these methods because they are public inside our class. Let's change them to private to see what happens. Okay, so let's make this private and build the application. It's going to complain. Rectangle set width is private. These things are private. You are not allowed to call them in the main function. So we change them back to public and all is going to be fine again. 200. The next thing I want to show you before we close up is that you can define your method outside your class. And sometimes you need this to have code that is more organized in some ways. So we're going to show you how to do that here. The way you would do that, we get rid of the body of the method and we put a column here because we only want to have the signature of the method inside the class. And we go outside the class and we define our method as we would define it. So we say void and we specify the class the method is in before we say the name of the method. Okay, set width and width, and we do what we were doing before. So we say this width equals width, and we should be fine as we were working before. Let's run the application and all is working fine. So we can do the same thing for set length. Get rid of the body here, take the method outside, say void rectangle set length. We say this length equals length. If we run the application, we're going to see the same thing. 200. Okay, we are fine. So one other piece of information you should have is that functions inside classes are usually called methods. So you will hear me interchanging these terms now and then, and they shouldn't be confused by that. A method is just a function inside a class. Okay, we've covered all we set out to do in this lecture. In the next one, we're going to look at constructors and how you use them to instantiate your classes. I'll see you in the next lecture.